Here we go. Coming up slowly but surely. Alright, okay. So, how are you guys doing? So, it's your favorite student teacher, Mr. Whitehouse, and I wanted to have a little conversation with you guys today about citations. We've been looking at your papers over the past month, and one thing we noticed that really needed work was your all's citations and their in-text citation, your bibliographies, um, your works cited. These really struggled as a whole across the board. So we wanted to do what we could to try to improve that and make you all work on that, because that is a skill that you're going to need your entire life, not just today. For instance, I just put together an APA citation for this video that I made for you all, because I adapted a resource that another teacher created, so I wanted to give her credit for that. So I created a citation for that and gave her credit. So I want you all to be able to do the same thing. So I want you to think about citations as an address. If you see this, Bloomington, MN, Broadway 60, 55425 East, you don't really know what that is. You're going to guess, that looks like an address. It has all the same formulas. I think that looks like it's going to be in Minnesota, just based off previous knowledge. Maybe East Broadway, Bloomington, 60. It's just a lot of work to put that together and piece it together and find out where you're going to go. And someone from another country, that order is going to be different, and some of those are going to be even more all over the place. So you're not going to know. So we need to use the universal language of citations to figure that out. Because when you put that together, it can take you someplace awesome. In this case, 6 East Broadway, Bloomington, Minnesota, 55425, the world's largest Lego store. Right? Fantastic. A few of my favorite things. So you can get sources from all over the world, and your reader wants to know how you got those, and you need to tell them. That is your responsibility. So it's like an address. You include the right information and the right order. Otherwise, no one has any idea what you're talking about. So you're given the location of your source, aka the address. That's basically what you're doing. You're telling readers where they need to go. You're sending them a package. So a complete, accurate citation not only tells you where you got your information, but how you got there. There are all kinds of different sources you can use, clearly. So some sources may not have all of the information. So look here, you have Presidencia de la République N'Djamena, Republic of Chad. I see that and I don't really know what that means, but if that's all the information you had, that's all the information you can present. So I'm going to say, okay, that address is going to be at this residence. I assume Presidence de la République. It's going to be in the capital of Republic of Chad. It's going to be the president's, the residence of the head of the Republic of Chad. So that's my guess at where that is, but it's not 100% accurate. You want a little bit more details. But sometimes you don't have a whole lot more details, and you do what you can. For instance, one thing that you all consistently wrote about, I saw Ronald Reagan in a lot of your all's papers. Looked up something about Reagan, how great was Ronald Reagan, our 40th president's place in history, from the Heritage Foundation, but it doesn't have that much information to use for a citation. I found the author, Carl Olesker, but I didn't find when it was written. There's a whole lot of details missing from this, but I still put it together, and I was able to come up with a citation for it. That right there, in that order, still tells you all the information you need. It may not have when it was written. It may not have a lot of other information, but your person will know exactly what they need to do, where they need to go to get that done, to get to see the information you want them to see. So you see this, Marion Baker School, in-text citation. That alone doesn't give you a whole lot within the context of the paper, but if you see that, it's like a signpost. You see this and you say, okay, I'm going to go to the bibliography of the author. Right here, Marion Baker School, San Ramon de Tres Rios, 200 meters east, 200 meters south from the Catholic Church, San Jose, 4269 1000 Costa Rica. That is very detailed, very specific. I know exactly where that is on a map. When it comes to a citation, very similarly, you see something like this. Underwood and Finlay, Underwood H, Finlay B, 2004, Internet Relationships, their impact on primary relationships, behavior change, 21.2, 127.40. I know exactly where that is. Awesome. Okay, but in the text, you're not going to write all that. You would just write something like Underwood and Finlay. Done. I know where that goes. That's going back to here. Easy peasy. They see that. They know where they're going. Great. APA formatting, you want to go a step farther. Put the year. I think it's always best to put the year just to be safe, unless you've listed the year or the author in the actual text before you put it in parentheses. So if I were you, I would always list those two. So we know the information. Great. Okay, so you go to the next one. Two sources, the same author or title. For instance, Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble. Alright, if you just see that, you can go to any random Barnes & Noble. But if the thing you specifically want, if there's a specific book that's only at one Barnes & Noble, the one in Boise or Boston, you got to go to two very different ones. One is here, one is way over here. So that's going to be very, very different. And you're going to want to be able to know the difference. So you have to differentiate. You have to spell that out. Boise, Barnes & Noble, Boston. Same thing works here. You can't just write Underwood and Finlay anymore. You have to put the year. Over here, say this isn't 2009. Say this is also 2004. If I just wrote Underwood and Finlay 2004, same thing both ways. That's going to lead me back to here, but that's going to be confusing because it also leads me back to here. So both of these are going to lead to only one citation. So we have to find a way to mix it up. So Underwood and Finlay 2004, comma, Internet relationships. There. How about that? 2004 Facebook. Alright? Or you don't even have to put the year on these. Underwood and Finlay, Facebook. Underwood and Finlay, Internet relationships. That tells you specifically where it is. That gives me more information in the in-text, and it differentiates between the two. So, citation is extremely important, like an address. You wouldn't send a package without the proper information. Don't cite without the proper information. Please, I hope you use this information in future years. I hope you use it this year. This is absolutely vital to you as a student. It's going to be vital now and in your future career, in your life. Please, please, please take citations serious, because otherwise you're just plagiarizing and nobody wants that. White House out.